lighting is like, F you, James. F you. Oh,
Well, good morning to you, good sir.
yes. I feel like I'm on the dark side of the moon. Like, what? I don't know what's going on here. And I'll put my cream on really quick because I want to look young forever.
Oh, goodness.
My
That's
Perlier
just day
cream.
cream. Would you like to see my vanity?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I've
you
got
look
night
beautiful,
creams.
Tommy.
I have day creams. I have different, I mean, it goes on and
Me
on
too. No, me
forever.
too. This is Perlier. They sent it to me. But yeah, you look beautiful anyway. So but I gotta work at it.
Thank you. I had to put my eye drops in today. Allergies. The weather hot, cold, rainy yesterday. Did you
Yeah,
guys get
that
rain?
was crazy. I know, right?
Yeah. So, I'm a little blinky today because my eyes are really dry. So
Yes, this
happy to be with you, though. This
same
is
here.
I'm looking for I love our new recording time. Here's
Half
why.
hour earlier. Okay, sure.
Here's why.
Tell me.
I think I have a half hour more. So I'm done by 7:45. Go downstairs, get a cup of coffee, say good morning to Les and the dog. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going on with James in like 15 minutes. I can't I think 8:30 is still our tape time, but thank you for doing it earlier for me
Oh yeah,
and my client.
yes, your client. No, I'm up. So I'm like, this is fine. And I'm doing it on Tuesdays now instead of Mondays. Which is
Yes.
fine. It is fine also.
You okay?
I'm like, oh my life. No, I don't. I'm just trying to. It is. I'm like, wow. It's like I'm looking. I do because it is dark outside. So, folks, it's June gloom is in effect, and now it's messing up all of my life. Oh, is that better? Nope. I just. Some of us have to be. You have to be lit a different way than others, so you can see me. Let's do it that way.
I could glow in the dark, James. I don't really need much light.
Exactly. So, oh, here. Oh, that's Lobo. Hello, James.
That's really good. Yeah, there you go. Hello.
James Lott Jr. gave good face. Okay, thank you. It's a Madonna reference, folks, if you're old enough. Little Vogue.
Peace.
Little Vogue. Okay, that's, yes. Wait a minute. So today's the 6th as we're recording this. Is your birthday soon? Is it next month or this month? I can't remember. Is this month next month?
It's July 1st.
Next month. That's right, the first. That's right. You're my niece Haley have the same birthday. All you can't see
Yes.
my mother's 29th. That's her birthday, and Flobo's 25th. You guys are all my moon children, as she always calls you guys,
Yes.
moon children. And so, I mean, I know I half follow astrology. I don't fully follow it, but I half follow it. I do have many of the traits of a Taurus. Do you follow any of Cancer stuff? Do you feel like
I
that?
know a little bit to
Yeah.
be dangerous. A more. A more.
Yeah, I'm more. It's actually the pride color. It's the pride month.
I can see that.
Oh,
Yes.
love in Spanish. You don't speak Spanish, folks. Amor is love.
Yes. So is coffee,
Yes, yes,
which
it
is what you're
is.
drinking out of the Amore mug.
Yes, I am. And this mug is one of the taller ones. You have taller ones. You
I
have one,
love that.
so you have yours too.
I know. It's funny. I'm like, I was in, there's my chemo mug, but it's tall. I
Yeah.
was in the kitchen and I'm like, which mug do I want today? Oh, they're too short, too short. I'm going for my chemo mug because I need a lot of coffee this morning.
Oh, we too. I slept really well last night. Actually, I had some really good sleep, but I had to make up for the night before where I slept 3 hours.
Ooh,
I know. I was
what?
working. This next thing I knew, I'm like, is it really 3:30 in the morning? And I have to be up at 7. Okay. Like I didn't realize that. And but what's really weird about that is I'm a good sleeper. I fall asleep for those 3 hours I slept. It's just the getting up in the morning and having to apply stuff to your face so you don't look halfway decent. We both know about this, especially as you get a little
Mm,
older.
mm,
When you advance in age a little bit, you have a
mm.
little longer. So I was just like, I didn't want to come on to my show like this. Hi, I'm James. I mean, I want to make sure I look decent for my guests. And I did, and it worked out fine. Also, I had a big meeting yesterday and I secured the clients.
Oh, congratulations. How exciting. A new client.
Thank you. A new coaching client
Nice.
for my coaching business. and I'm very happy with the amount that I'm getting for doing this coaching. Let's just say that.
Nice. So now let's talk a little bit about that. When you have a new coaching client, do you set up a contract? Does it have a timetable to it? How does that work?
That's really good. Wow, those are two really good questions. You're becoming a host. It's like, so number one for me, everybody first I got to everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. There's certain almost like organizing, almost like insurance. There's certain things that are through lines for everyone. But then everyone does. There's certain ways we all do business that are kind of the same. Like certain rules and ethics are the same, but the actual practice can be a little different. So make sure I say that. So it's just what
Sure.
I do. And I actually went to school, went to Coach Training Alliance. I got several certifications, like the whole thing. So I follow some of their ethics and stuff, but I do things a little differently. So for me, every client is different. So
Okay.
I have a basic contract, but I modify some things to fit the client. And I did also my organizing too, because every person is just different. So, for example, for this person, we have a consultation first, and I find out what they want and what they need and what they would like to have happen. That is, you have to be very clear about that very beginning. And then I have the basic contract of, payment up front first. You have to commit to at least 2 or 3 sessions. It's an at will agreement. There's certain things that they're just universal for that are evergreen. You and I can make each night a first. And
Barbara.
Barbara, Barbara, that are just regular stuff that's in there all the time. Then I may put in there, okay, where my role is, and I'll have like I will not no judgment, no this, no that. The outcome is not that's in there too. Then I'll say, and your role is to commit to blank, 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 blank. So it's almost like a mixture of a personal contract and a professional contract. Because it's kind of like you're these are the 5 things you want to see happen. So your commitment is to working towards making those things happen. So that so at the end, if it doesn't happen, that's on you. It's not on me.
So there's accountability from the client standpoint.
Exactly. So and then I do a sliding scale on I have a base scale of what I charge. Then I have a sliding scale depending on what it is they want from me, how much work they want from me. We discuss all it before I even come on. And then I put it in the
Right.
contract. I literally same with my podcasting agreements. I kind of always meld them so they're kind of personal and professional because just always knowing nothing. So if we clean break, you can say, okay, well, James did fulfill this, and Melissa did fulfill that. It just was different. Or James didn't fulfill that, and Melissa did. Like I make sure it's all in there. And it can also be modified. If someone says, I want to update the contract, we see because working on personal growth in some cases, and some cases professional growth, and in this case it's media, so it's actually a little bit of both. Because media it's very much it's personal and professional. You can't escape it. So there were 3 things I said I promised I would give him, and so those three things I can actually deliver, but they're in the contract. So it saves him too. James promised me one. Let's just say for example, it's not for him. I'm telling his business, but just say it's one print interview, one podcast interview, one write up. Like I say those things in the contract. So if it happens, you say, "Well, I said I can only give." You said, "You didn't give me 2." Well, I said I get you 1 at least. Like I fulfilled my contract. If that makes any sense. So that's kind of what we do. But the consultation is very important to me. I like to hear, and yes, you can always change your mind as we're going because also life changes as you're working on yourself, and sometimes
Yes.
in all of
Yes,
our
it does,
businesses, it
James.
does. But also in our businesses, something may come along that you're like, where'd that come from? Oh, okay. It's
Yes.
really good or bad. It could be either. It's like, oh, where'd that come from? An opportunity may come and go, oh. So then you have to pivot and change on that too. So, but I like to listen. I like to listen, watch. I always do FaceTime or back in the day with Skype. I like to see your face and see your body language. I take note. I take copious notes. I let them know I'm taking
Wow,
notes.
you're breaking out all the big words this
I am
morning.
today. I got some sleep. I got some sleep, folks. I do have a doctorate, so divinity. But anyway, but the whole point is, I sit down. I really try to follow what they're saying, see what's going on, read their body language, and then I kind of put that in the contract a little bit. So there's a little bit of leeway, but also, like I said, there's some stuff that's in there that's very specific. And you're right; it's kind of almost like an accountability for them, because I'm working on them personally, because we do talk about personal stuff sometimes, but it's also for the professional world. So this was for media. So it's for media growth. This person wants to make it in America. They're from another country, actually. So
Oh, fun.
we had to work out the time difference schedule, which I think we worked out. We have our first session next week, but he sent the money. I mean, the check cleared, cha-ching. That's not check, but you know, what I mean, PayPal cleared, and life. We're going to move forward. So I'm very excited. But yeah, and sometimes we do it in an official. I have a PDF document, the contract. Some don't want that. Some just say, "Can we use this email as?" And my lawyers told me that's fine. The email can be used as you write in there. This email
It's a
is
great document.
a document. That's right. No, it's a lot.
As long as I say I agree.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, seriously. I mean, I didn't realize that could be that way. When I was a notary, I had learned that you could write on a napkin. This napkin serves as confirmation, blah blah blah. And if everybody signs it and agrees and stamp, and then it's binding. Like I didn't know that it's really binding. I always heard that joke. You write it on a napkin, you know, it's like, but that's like it really, in many cases, if it's done correctly on a napkin, really
Absolutely.
can. So
Yes.
how are you guys' contracts? Just on a side of this, I'm thinking of contracts. I mean, everything's you have an department that does that. When you're a small business, I'm like, do you have that kind of thing, or is it you? What is it?
Oh, absolutely. I have a contract with every insurance company that we work with. So our business is contracts, period. The insurance policy that you buy is actually a contract. You've entered into it. It's a one-way contract. So if there's any ambiguity, another big
Ooh,
word
okay, go
this morning,
girl. Yes.
it always favors the insured because they didn't write the contract. They didn't agree to anything. They just signed up. So, but yeah, I mean, there's the policy contracts. There's the actual business to business contracts. So every vendor that we contract with, every insurance company, yeah, contracts galore. Like I've got a whole drawer full of them.
Galore. You get a contract. You get a contract. You get a
You
contract.
get a contract. Yes.
He's got his galore. That's so funny. But who do you have? Do you have like a lawyer or somebody you can talk to? You need question, like just somebody you can go to. You have questions. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we have a corporate lawyer. Shout out to Adam Soibelman out of Calabasas, our 2 law group. He's awesome. So we do. And if it's highly technical, there are insurance specialists. But you know who I would always turn to is Steve Young from IIAB Cal, baby.
Me too.
He,
Me too.
he is the bomb. He is,
Yes.
and he knows so much about insurance and law, and it kind of melds nicely together with him. But when you're a member, you can actually ask questions and ask for contract reviews with carriers and different types of vendors, and you know, so that's a nice benefit of membership.
I'm gonna do a small little thing for Steve Young. I've known him as long as you have, probably. I've known him since the 90s, whatever. So I'll tell you something. He's somebody I've gone to for his stuff too. He loves law. That's a big no. I mean, to me, that's someone who loves their business. They're good at it I interviewed him once, and he just can stop talking about law. I mean, he's a talker anyway. I mean, we talk about fine. We're friends, but like the law, he even made it interesting to me. I mean, he was telling me stuff like, wow, like stuff back from the 80s and stuff he's involved in the 90s. I was like, wow. I was like good stuff. So I was like, tell me more. No,
Greece. Wow, you are really on this morning.
I had 8 hours of sleep, Melissa. What's wrong with me?
I'm so impressed by you right now. Wow.
Yes,
he is, and he has such a great personality and a sense of humor, which normally you don't get wrapped up in a lawyer.
No.
And there's such a human quality to Steve, and his approach is human. It's not, scorched earth. It's not run and hide in a corner because we have no position to take. It's just human. And I love that about him. It's actually he's highly intelligent. He's highly professional and proficient, but he's so human. He just draws you in. So if I'm on the jury, you kind of like figure you're going, oh, wait, stop. I shouldn't be nodding.
Right. It's naughty.
But he gets you there. You know what I mean? Like, because he has such a connection with people.
Yeah.
I asked him because I thought, you might be really good as a trial lawyer.
Yeah.
And he said, no,
He didn't like it. He likes what he likes.
no, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's what he likes.
So,
It's funny. I contracts were something I have to give. Back in the day, it was called IAB. No, it's called IAB West. IBA West.
yes,
When I was there, Insurance Skill Center. Shout out to them. That's where I really learned contracts. I knew some when I was at Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, but I wasn't really fully working on them. I knew them in passing. But when I finally got to into the insurance world, because I was doing all these contracts with vendors, with hotels and with catering, I learned a lot. I mean, seriously, it has carried with me to this day. Just, I mean, my friends like, "Can you get this contract?" And I'm like, "There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that." It's like I can catch things right away or ask questions. I know how to ask the right questions. But I mean, it was like I give a shout out to Nick Paris because he drilled that shit in me. He was like, "Yeah, make sure it comes to the good. Make sure it comes to the good." And I'll tell you, it saved. There were many times it saved our ass. And I had
sure.
written in the contract specifically. They were in there, and I was very proud of myself. And I can actually say that in the 10 years I was there, or whatever, I have every instance where someone would come up, I had it in the contract. I would say I made other mistakes in the job, but that was one thing I did, and they were all like, "Well, James has it in there. Like he has it in there." I remember Stephen will be proud of me. Like you have it in there. Like no, I learned a little bit from him, a little bit from other people. But contracts are. I mean, doing this stuff with my mom, trying to get my stepfather's estate in order, and reading. Like, well, my mother was sick, and I'm trying to read all the stuff I had to sign. It's like learning about contracts. You learn. It's a great life skill for just reading anything. Now I'm in the media business, reading NDAs. I'm pretty sure I read all that. I'm learning about that. Learning about contracts comes back from my insurance field time. It goes back to that.
Everything comes back to your insurance time, James. You know that. Look at us.
Exactly.
You can't shake it. You just can't.
Yeah.
Once you're in it, believe me, it's in your life.
It is. And I have insurance.
It's been very good to me and my family.
Yes. Same here. And and also I have insurance. I mean, when we had the flood here in this house, I had to tell my mother, "You have insurance, right?" Yes. And I told her what we need to do and how things work and how I can work with insurance. And I worked with the salespeople and getting so I had to be displaced for 4 months. And I talked to the salespeople about getting comps on rooms or just, it's just like, how do you know that? So I go, Insurance Skill Center, I'll be with. That's how I know all this. I did it for, I can do it with my eyes closed. I mean, like, I wouldn't, but I would do it with my eyes closed. But it really was valuable. Same with me being a nurse. I mean, it's information that's
Yes.
left me. I've used
Yeah.
it even again recently with my mom. Like, okay, your blood pressure's low. It's funny how you may not be in the industry anymore, but it's valuable information that can carry with.
Mhm.
Right.
May you be blessed to walk many paths in life, really, because it's all a learning tool. I've pretty much stuck to one path in my life, but I have learned a lot through my clients' businesses and different experiences that I have had. But I really admire folks like you who have done many things in their life to you're just you're so well versed. You never know. Like you just talked about your mom's, situation and drawing on your nursing skills. You never know when you're going to need a skill set. So I think it's fantastic that you've done so much, and you're also a reliable person. So that just makes you more reliable.
Yeah, no, I know, I get that, but it's just funny, but it's a lesson for anybody, and even for you too. Just in life, you don't know what you may have to use later. So you just don't know.
Right.
Every experience could be valuable. Even something small that you learned could be very valuable later. You just don't know. But you just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't have predicted my whole life at all. I wouldn't do this. But I was just trying to live my life. I did one profession for a while. I just was doing stuff, but you never know when you collect things along the way when and where it may show up again.
Right.
That's very interesting. And I have a lot of friends the same way where a lot of people in insurance come from. I've interviewed a bunch of them. Come from other industries. Same with media. We come from other industries, and then we come into this, and it's like, oh, an organizer, same thing, came from other industries, and we came into this, and you're like, I can still use that. The only thing, okay, so I was proven wrong, I guess.
Wait.
That we do use algebra sometimes in our lives. Ugh. I did a show
Well,
once on that, and I was like, "We don't use algebra." And each time, like, "Oh, screw you!" I failed algebra
I
twice.
feel the same way about algebra as you do, and I don't use it at all.
They claim we do. There's a whole. So I got to find a show and say it to you. They kind of, I guess, in a weird way, show that we do in a weird way use algebra sometimes. Because I mean, literally, my sister and I failed algebra twice, and we had to take summer school so we could graduate, so we could actually. That was the one thing that was holding me back. I'm not a math person. Math is not my thing, and algebra was just not my thing. And I got a D in the class. That's how I ended. It's the lowest class I've ever had. It was a D. And I got just like, they said, okay, you got a D, you're fine. I hate algebra. I hate
Can
it.
see that you're over that. Like you've
Oh yeah,
accepted.
like yeah, not bitter. I'm not happy about that at all. But yes, algebra. But that was our whole big thing about the math. But my friend was like, "No, you do use algebra." And he showed us the way. And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
something like that, I guess." Mm-hmm. But yes,
Well, they can use it all they want.
oh, they want exactly. I don't want to. But no, but yeah, I think I just, but no, it's been a great experience of like you just whether it's food service, you know, that's what me and Brian Pinaviano talked about doing food service or back in the day, and how that actually it's customer service. It actually helps you in what you're doing today, and it's
Yes.
don't take anything for granted. I guess is the question of your life and jobs, and that's why I say a lot of I changed the term from housewife to house manager. There are a lot of women out there who would be great workers because they're already doing half the jobs at home. It just looks different. But they have, I'm like, you're already a multitasker. You're already doing this. You're a scheduler. You're there. Like you're already. I mean, you'd be a great person
Yeah.
in somebody's office, you know, or some kind of
Absolutely.
profession. Yeah. So
Yeah. What I have found in my own life as being a businesswoman and a house manager, um, a lot falls through the cracks.
you know, that happens to you.
So
You
it just can be too much. But if I think if I could be a house manager, and I love that, um, I would be good. I have the skill set for it. You know, I manage a business, I manage people's insurance programs, I do all of these things. Um, I never quite thought about maintaining a household as managing, but it is. It is. You know what's so funny though? I have to say,
uh-oh.
it does hit me from time to time because Les will say, when I go to the store, I always ask Les, babe, is there anything that you want?
Oh,
Because I do the shopping and it's, and so he says to me, oh, by the way, could you get me some of my crackers? I'm like, oh, babe, top shelf pantry. And he's like, oh, okay. And I thought to myself, how do I know? How do I remember that?
see, see.
Not only did I stock his crackers, but I know exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So there
I
you
know,
go.
but
I'm managing.
no, I mean, no, seriously. I think it's. I learned that as an organizer. When I was going to women's homes, and I was like, you know, I mean, housewife is just so like okay. I mean, I know some folks it's fine term, I guess, but for me, I'm like, but you're more than just that. I feel like that's just that. It's like but you're handling the appointments for the kids, dentist appointments and soccer games and track meets, and you're also managing all the bills because your husband's like the checks in the thing, and here you go, and then you're managing PTA stuff, or you may have a part-time job, or also the groceries, and then the laundry, and then you look at the kids, all that stuff. It's all part of managing a house. And it's like, and I come in, and that's what I like because I come in, they can tell me all this, they can vent to me and all this stuff. I'm like, go on, girl, I'll tell you everything about it. And then I help them get systems in place for them. They're like, they'll just go like, James, this pantry is not working for me or the kids. What do you suggest? And I suggest something that's great for the kids, which takes the pressure off of them, and then something good for them that takes pressure off of them. You know, so it's like it's not just a placement issue. Place the snacks here, the kids go right to them. You have to worry about you. They don't have to always ask you to grab. Like they're like, oh my god. So, but it's like that's the whole point. It's like it's you're managing this house. That hit me like 5 years ago. I was like, I'm not saying housewife anymore. If you want to call yourself, that's fine. But you're a house manager. You're the house CEO. Work it out.
Hmm.
And a lot
Yeah.
of folks who are single parents, you're the house CEO. You're doing all of it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, saying you do the majority of stuff. And they say you know where the bill is due. It's weird how a lot of women have it in their brain. You know, well, no, but you know, phone
I
bill
do.
Tuesday. You know when the bill's due.
I do. I do. I have it. I have it in my brain. I know when everything is due. Oh, no wonder I'm such a nervous wreck all the time. No wonder I like need my coffee in
Yeah,
the morning.
exactly. You have so much to store in your brain.
Oh
Remember,
my God. Oh,
I learned that from running. I've been running these two houses. My mother's coming back, so now she started running her house a little more. But for about 3 months, I was paying bills from both houses, had to manage the dates on all. Okay, so that's time for the mortgage to pay, and then well now it's time. Oh, that's like she owes. We had property tax. We got to pay the second payment of property tax. I had to watch. It was my brain is tired. Luckily,
yeah,
I'm an organizer, but I was like managing both houses and managing her health and planning a funeral and trying to do my bed. It was these last 6 months have
a
been
lot,
pretty a lot. But I
a
but I
lot.
but you have to kind of but regular folks, their lives are like that. They have to kind of manage
Yes.
all the different stuff. It's nice. It's not easy, is it? So I am James,
And I'm Melissa.
and this is Coffee Conversation with James Melissa. This is episode 60.
Woo,
Girlfriend, 60. We're
nice.
right. We're almost to 100. Maybe still get you something big for 100. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This show is on all streaming service platforms, of course, anywhere you want to go, from iHeartRadio to Spotify and Google. So wherever you're listening to this right now, make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe button. Wherever it's at, they're all different. Hit it and hit whatever notification thing they have up there so you can know when a new episode comes out, which is usually on Tuesdays. Also, we're on YouTube on the granddaddy of them all, JLJ Media. We are 3 years as a network, 11 years as a channel. So we are working it out every day for you. And check some of my other shows too. I have all kinds of different things, from extra connections in between the pages. I interview people from nurses to songwriters and singers. I'm interviewing a presidential candidate next week. So check out anything from JLJ Media. We got it for you. From Star Wars to soap opera. So check those out. We will see you next time.